The next question is, an application is processing clickstream data using Amazon Kinesis. The clickstream data feed into Kinesis experiences periodic spikes. The put records API call occasionally fails and the logs show that the failed call returns the response shown below. Which techniques will help mitigate the exception? Option A. Implement retrace with exponential backoff. Option B. Use a put record API instead of put records. Option C. Reduce the frequency and or size of the requests. Option D. Use Amazon SNS instead of Kinesis. Option E. Reduce the number of KCL consumers. The correct answer is A and C. The next question is, a company has an application that uses Amazon Cognito user polls as an identifier provider. The company must secure access to user records. The company has set up multi-factor authentication (MFA). The company also wants to send a login activity notification by email every time a user logs in. What is the most operationally efficient solution that meets the requirements? Option A. Create an AWS Lambda function that uses Amazon Simple Email Service Amazon SES to send the email notification. Add an Amazon API Gateway API to invoke the function. Call the API from the client side when login confirmation is received. Option B. Create an AWS Lambda function that uses Amazon Simple Email Service Amazon SES to send the email notification. Add an Amazon Cognito Post Authentication Lambda trigger for the function. Option C. Create an AWS Lambda function that uses Amazon Simple Email Service Amazon ACS to send the email notification. Create an Amazon CloudWatch log subscription filter to invoke the function based on the login status. Option D. Configure Amazon Cognito to stream all logs to Amazon Kinesis data Firehose. Create an AWS Lambda function to process the streamed logs and to send the email notification based on the login status of each user. The correct answer is B. The next question is, a developer has an application that stores data in an Amazon S3 bucket. The application uses an HTTP API to store and retrieve objects. When the output object API operation adds object to the S3 bucket, the developer must encrypt these objects at rest by using server-side encryption with Amazon S3 Managed Keys (SSE S3). Which solution will meet this requirement? Option A. Create an AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS key. Assign the KMS key to the S3 bucket. Option B. Set the XAMZ server-side encryption header when invoking the put object API operation. Option C. Provide the encryption key in the HTTP header of every request. Option B. Apply TLS to encrypt the traffic to the S3 bucket. The correct answer is B. The next question is, a developer needs to perform geographic load testing of an API. The developer must deploy resources to multiple AWS regions to support the load testing of the API. How can the developer meet these requirements without additional application code? Option A. Create and deploy an AWS Lambda function in each desired region. Configure the Lambda function to create a stack from an AWS CloudFormation template in the region when the function is invoked. Option B. Create an AWS CloudFormation template that defines the load test resources. Use the AWS CLI create stack set command to create a stack set in the desired regions. Option C. Create an AWS Systems Manager document that defines the resources. Use the document to create the resources in the desired regions. Option D. Create an AWS CloudFormation template that defines the load test resources. Use the AWS CLI deploy command to create a stack from the template in each region. The correct answer is B.